Welcome back to Bump 200. I'm still welding.
World's fastest bumper car update. Well, if you can call it that, I suppose. I'm going to do a little bit more on this one, and on the subject of steering. After consultation with my friend Captain Slowsworth, we have a device. Yes, mountain bike device. Should we see if it fits? Well, not quite on our 1 inch. I think it's 31mm, so that kind of makes sense. I can clamp it up a little bit, but we're going to have to put some kind of sleeve on our steel rod. That's not a problem though, because this was one of the narrower ones that I managed to find. Right, let's check if it fits the bars. Again, just a little bit loose. And again, something I think we can resolve fairly simply. As you can see, that end fits that tube perfectly, so all we need to do is cut that, weld it onto there. Because we can do welding, kind of. We have clearance. We have a long steel rod, modified.
Beautiful, snug fit.
It is coming together. And that's always a good thing, right? Just needs a little finagling. Yes, these arrived today from PPR Kart Supply. We are getting our bearings. And as you can see, they look a lot more substantial than what we have on there already. They look good for about 30 miles an hour. These maybe 130. Let's see if they fit. So they're supposed to be 17mm. Let's see if they fit on the shaft first and foremost. Doesn't really matter which way around. Yeah, we like that. And they're supposed to be American kart size, so let's see. Well, apparently not. Doesn't quite line up, does it? I tried the smaller holes as well. Lined up. Not lined up. Not lined up. Back. Meanwhile, at IDR. Monkey's just checking out the gear shift. Now it's been properly welded up by IDR. Front wheel hubs version 3. Very nice. Do they fit? Oh yes they do. Lovely. Yeah, that's that sorted then. Talking of which, I had another meeting with my friend Ron at Create Tech, and we are going for kind of a off-the-shelf package with the rear axle and cassettes and bearings and all kinds of stuff, and we're just going to shorten it hopefully. So he's on the phone to Tyler at the other karting place, and we'll see what they come up with. Right, that's those all fitted up nicely. Those are now scrapped. Just taking the paint off in preparation for our welding, which I forgot to do last time, which is why the welding was so horrible. Well, one of the reasons anyway. The other reason was that I was trying to turn the heat down and increase the speed of the feed, and instead decrease the speed of the feed and turn the heat up. So yes, quite the contrary situation. Right, all clamped up, ready to go. Except I'm not doing that with this here. No, that needs to come out of the garage. But before we do that, let's have another look at the steering. Now, what's he doing? Well, yes, indeed, it was my birthday not so long ago, and we had all the boys over, all the old race team and everyone, and we had a good look at the steering, and they don't think it's going to work. Mainly because that angle is just too damn steep. So I've rigged it up in a tube in the vise, which will hold the front end, and we're going to hoik that up to the approximate angle and twist it and see what happens. Kind of snarls up at that point. It's alright at that angle, but we haven't got that angle. Yeah, it's not gonna work at the kind of angle we need it at. Snarling up here. Yeah, this is where it's getting caught up. Those joints there on this middle section, they're just snagging unless you decrease the angle, and we can't do that. So that's a bummer. Now what? Well, here's what I'm thinking. We can make that first section that actually goes into the steering rack, we can make that maybe another inch shorter and put in one UJ, single one, short one, small one, then another tiny section of steel rod, just big enough to be able to fit another UJ on the end. Luckily, we got a lot of steel roddage to play with. So that other section, however short it is, will take up some of the angle from the rear of the motor, and then our final angle won't be so great. That's the idea anyway. Been doing a little research into alternatives to our double jointed UJ. The standard ones seem to be about 83mm, and this is considerably longer, 125mm to be precise-ish. So, with my calculations, we need to find at least 55mm if we join two of these up together, plus a bit in the middle, probably, to be safe. Otherwise we just end up with that situation again, possibly. And that's quite a lot off that shaft. We're not going to get it there. We might get a bit of it there, because of course this goes under the bottom of the motor, and it has to kind of clear the end of the motor before we can start coming up at all. But I think we did have a little bit of room, maybe half that if we're lucky, an inch maybe. Yeah, better hook it up again and find out, haven't we? Well, for once my memory served me well. Yeah, we're about as short as we can go on that. So that's a bugger. Guess we better just order some of these UJs and see what we can do. So we'll find out next time. In the meantime, if you haven't already, subscribe down here somewhere, and of course give the video the thumbs up. And yes, encourage others to watch my lunacy.